What's up, you guys? We got a 2009 Honda Accord 4-cylinder. It doesn't matter, 4 and 6 is about the same. We did the driver's side axle. Now we're gonna do the passenger side axle. So what we got here is a new axle. Okay, there's the part number. There's the brand. I love using these axles. Okay, never had an issue. They're not refurbished. They're not rebuilt. None of that crap. Okay, so let's take a look at this axle, and I'm going to show you the difference from passenger and driver side. Okay, so this is the passenger side axle here. Let's just keep it on top of this box. So if you look at this axle, it looks the same. Everything is the same, just the back end is different. It's hollow in the back, so this thing goes into an intermediate shaft. So here's a driver side axle. So this is what the driver side axle look like. See that? This goes actually into the transmission. So there is a smaller intermediate shaft in between. Anyways, let's begin this job. And we did do the axle on the driver's side again. There it is. Brand new axle, so you guys can check that video out. But anyways, procedure is same, just a tiny bit different from over here. So we're gonna remove this. We're gonna remove this 12. We're gonna remove the 10 millimeter. We're gonna remove the 10 millimeter here, so the line is flexible. We're gonna take the cotter pin and remove this tie rod, bang this out, boom. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take off this 36 millimeter right here and see if our axle budges out, because if it sees into that, you don't wanna waste your time. Check out my first video, I do explain everything on that. And we're gonna take out the 14 right there. And then we got a 17 here. We're gonna put a socket on the side with the impact gun and a wrench on this side so it doesn't turn. Anyway, we're gonna start from right here. So let's get this job going. Okay, so first thing first, I wanna take off this little guy, 36 millimeter. It is dark on this side, but that's okay. Once we go inside, it's gonna lighten up. So what we wanna do here is, you wanna take your hammer and a punch and see if your axle budges right through. It does. So if it didn't, I would try to force it a bit and hammer it a bit. If it doesn't, then the spindle gotta go. Check out my first video, I do explain everything. The spindle is easier to change, the bearing and everything, the spindle hub, everything with it. Take out the axle and throw it out, then put in about an 8-hour labor. Anyways, let's get this job started. Start our job with a tool, a cutter. I call it a cutter. A lot of people call it something else. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna push this and a little bit more if it goes through, and then force this baby out of here. Just pull it, cut it off if you need to. If it breaks, I usually cut the tips off so it's flush. I'm able to get my socket on and I'll eat that thing right through. Anyways, let's get this baby out on this side. Okay, so let's see how this works out. So this axle has leaked out and it's making a click click sound. Okay, let's just cut this baby off and pull it out this way. 19 millimeter, 17 millimeter. But first, what we're gonna do is let's take off this guy right here. 10 millimeter. Let's put it somewhere safe. Same thing here. There you go. So we're gonna switch up our sockets. We're gonna need this 12 millimeter to fit right here. So the reason why we want to take these out is once the spindle comes out a bit, nothing gets stretched and pulled. You can even release the sensor if you like, but this should be good enough. So we're gonna grab this baby. We're gonna come over, get that 12 out of there, put it somewhere safe, so it goes right back. So line is loose, line is loose. Looking good. So what you want to do is let's take off this 19 and bang here to take this off. So we got our 19 millimeter socket here. Bang, zoom. The nut came out, put it somewhere safe. And the next step is kind of little yeah, this thing is noisy. So I'm gonna go underneath with my hammer and I'm gonna bang right over here so you guys can see this tie rod come right out. So you can use a tool to pop this guy, a fork, anything you like, but this is my situation right here. Bada bing, bada boom. That's what I like. Anyways, once you have this off, you should be able to wiggle waggle this any direction you like. So while we're here, let's take off that 14 and a 17. Okay, next step, we got our 14 here. This is a 14 millimeter right here. Very important bolt. So make sure you do put it back and you torque it. I will give you all the torque specs at the end of the video. So we're gonna switch up our socket to a 17 millimeter and grab a wrench. So the wrench is gonna go on the back end, just like right here on the opposite side. So the bolt doesn't spin with the nut. So 17 millimeter here and a wrench in the back. Okay. Sometimes even this bolt inside will not turn. Okay, it will not turn, so that'd be an issue. You always got to heat it up. But anyway, this is out, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go get a screwdriver and our hammer. I'm gonna go back down, and right over here we're gonna put the screwdriver on the edge and hammer. You can even tap it a bit. You're not gonna damage the thread because it has a lot of gap. This thing, don't hurt yourself. Okay, you will hurt yourself if you hold the screwdriver like that. It will pinch you at the end. Okay, for some reason it just stopped at the end. I don't know why. I might have to put the impact on to twist the back end. Might be corroded a bit. Let's see if this works. It's pretty free. Sometimes the Lord does it. There you go. And the bolt comes out in my hand and the screwdriver is behind. Anyway, that's that. Okay. Now we need to look up. Let's face up. So what we got here is a 17 millimeter. Okay, this baby comes out. Alright, so now the next step here is for us to bang right here. There you go, and the spindle will come out of there. So now we need to take off the 14 and the 17 down below. So what I'm gonna do next is, and I don't know if my camera did recording, so we took off all the bolts just like on the opposite side, and I am gonna use this punch to punch the axle like I showed you in the beginning, and the axle should go right through with a few hits. So if your axle is jammed, it's never gonna come out. And there you go. So now all we need to do is hit that from the bottom. Okay, what I like to do is I like to go underneath. I'm gonna show you guys, but I might not be able to perform it, but let's see how it goes, because I can't hold the camera and grab a pry bar and hit a hammer. Okay, let's leave our camera behind and let's go underneath here. I got a small bucket here just in case. Okay, this side there's not gonna be no fluid because the whole axle doesn't come out. So this right here is an intermediate shop. You're not changing this. So all you're doing is putting the pry bar right here and hit your hammer right in back of this, so it forces it out just like that. It's kind of moving already just by me doing this, but it's gonna need a lot more force. I'll leave my camera over here and I'll go bang underneath. Okay, so I am gonna go underneath with the light, hammer, and a pry bar, and I'm gonna bang on this baby right from down here. Got my light here. Got my pry bar here, and bada bing. That was pretty easy. Okay, I caught it. I could feel the damaged axle inside here. Listen to this. Okay, it's pretty much shot, so let's take our camera outside. Here's our axle, and we're gonna go get the new axle. So just match it up. Okay, make sure everything is same here, same flush. There's no reflector wheel, that's good. Length is the same, the back end is the same. It has a cup, Sometime by dropping the parts department, they will drop this axle and this will be bent, so make sure you straighten that up. And you can even just take it out and throw it out. It has dust preventing system here, but if it's damaged, you don't want it to rub anywhere. It will make noise, but best is to leave it on, get another axle, call them up. But anyway, this is a good brand right here, so let's take this baby and put it inside. Okay guys, got my axle here. So this should be really simple. Take this baby, line it up, make sure it sits flush. Bada bing, bada boom. Axle is in. You just want to go underneath, look at it, nice and flush. Make sure it's nice and where the starting point was at. There you go, perfect. So the cup that I showed you that could be bent is gonna sit right on top of it, just like that. And that's perfect. We'll take this axle and stick it into the spindle here. Okay, reverse procedure starts. So everything I do has to be torqued, okay? Even if you don't see it, you're not gonna see it, but you will. Don't leave nothing loose and then come complain to me. Okay, so we got the axle in. So what we're gonna do next is, before anything, you want it, right now is a good time for you to put this fork in and stick this in. Okay, stick this down, pull on the axle if you short if you need to. Get this baby right where it belongs, just like that. Because if you put everything back together, you're not gonna be able to get this baby in. Take your 14mm, snug everything. Everything that you're gonna see me is snugging, okay? Not torquing, because I do that at the end, which camera doesn't see, but I do it in the order as I go, so I don't forget. Anyway, that's 14 in. I'm gonna try to torque that up. Okay, once you get that 14 in, you wanna take this 17 here and get it in. Right now would be a good time. Okay, once you have it sitting in the spot, all you need to do is lift it a bit, hold it up, and you can maneuver the bolt around. And once it's in, you could tap it with the hammer. You should go through, put the 17mm on the other side, and tighten it up. Bada bing, bada boom. Make sure you put the 17mm on the opposite side. Tighten that baby up. Like I said, you're not gonna see me tighten, but I do torque everything. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna move up the camera. So get a pry bar, and remember our axle is not all the way in yet because it doesn't need to be going in. So we're gonna put this on the control arm. Let's see if I can face up the camera a bit more. It's just a little too dark up here. And let's put the lighting right here. There you go, that's better. So put this up here. Have your bolt nut ready. Let's get this baby. Whoop. Be careful, be careful. Okay, let me turn pry bar the other way. And 17mm nut right here. They have the wedges for that. So when you lock this up, make sure you have opening so you can put a cotter pin right through. So that's that. Okay guys, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna end the video here because my camera is really low on the power. So torque this. I'm gonna show you torque at the end of the video. Put this in and make sure the 17 is tight. It's not tight, that's I gotta torque it. Make sure this is in 10mm. Reverse the procedure pretty much. And this is in. Make sure you put the axle bolt in. Okay, make sure you torque this. It's a lot of torque. You can snug it first with the axle, then bring the car down with the tire on and put a socket right through. You might have to take off the hubcap. You're gonna have to take off the cap from the rim, and once you're done, you do want it You do want to pinch that little spot right there. But anyways, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like.